Well, just first of all, I just want to congratulate our players. I'm so proud of them. So happy for the ability for them to just be rewarded for a tremendous amount of perseverance, overcoming adversity. Um, Lost Marcelino Ball before the season ever started, our most experienced and arguably one of our best defensive players. Lost several other guys along the way. Lost Thomas a couple weeks ago. Lost Michael last week for the whole season. We got 6 players that couldn't finish this year because of season-ending injuries, and it's this team just keeps on fighting, keeps on believing, keeps on staying the course. They just don't blink, and that's why I'm so proud of them. Hadn't been easy. Today was a tough, hard-fought win against a very good football team on the road. Haven't beaten Wisconsin in Wisconsin in Madison in 19 years, so we just keep checking off historical wins and opportunities for this program. So proud of Jack and his ability to step in. And most people wrote us off because we lost Michael Penix, who is truly a tremendous player and better person. But we are a football team, and I think that team showed up tonight, and that team hung together, prepared well this week, and just feel so blessed to be the leader of this group. Questions?
All right, John Blau, then Zach.
You emphasized that word a lot during the week, the team aspect. Obviously, the defense had a bunch of huge plays. Tuttle seemed to really make a lot of key throws. And is this really what you envisioned in terms of a team win and just being able to do all the right things to win the game?
Absolutely. To me, this is going to be when you talk about what's a team win look like in our program, this is one I'm going to point to. With all the adversity we've had to face, defense played phenomenal, been a little bit, but held to 2 field goals and obviously got the huge stop at the end. Got 2 more takeaways. That gives us 20 for the season in 7 games, which is phenomenal. Awesome job by Coach Womack and the defensive staff. Just so proud of them. And then Nick Sheridan being able to put Jack in position. Jack made some really good throws. Did a lot of great things, but I really wasn't surprised. I believe in Jack. Jack's a special player. A lot of talent, and he just hadn't played a lot in college, but just really, when you think about a football team, and we talked about it just in the locker room, and I just kept saying that word over and over, and that's what this is. This is a really good football team.
All right, Zach, then
Sorry, I clicked the wrong button there. I apologize, Tom. Sorry to zoom out on you just a little bit, but obviously you've talked about breaking through in these kinds of games for the last 4 years. Maybe it was this year, maybe it was last year. Is there a moment or maybe a couple moments you can point to where you just sort of saw this team get to a point where games like this, it could be bigger than the moment, I guess, that, a late drive like that or having to deal with, momentum swinging back and forth. I know that there's no road environment this year, but being on the road, whether it's maybe in Nebraska last year or a game this year, are there moments you can point to where you just thought, these guys have matured into that sort of moment more than maybe they were a couple years ago?
Yeah, it obviously started last year. Those 3 road wins that we got at Maryland, at Nebraska, and at Purdue, those were really the change agents where it all started being different. But then this year, the win against Penn State, that was, I know it was a home game, but the way that we did it, to come, and just the things that happened in that sequence of events when we were pretty much, in all likelihood not going to win. And statistically, according to the television, we had a 0.1% chance of winning that game once we turned the ball over and down to the minute 47 to go. I have that on a 2x5 card in my office, and I want to use that for a long, long time. And from that point on, when we had that 0.1% chance of winning that game, we found a way to win. Drove 75 yards, scored, went for 2, tied it up, went to overtime, scored, went for 2, and got to win. I just think that created so much belief, just kind of galvanized all the things I've been talking about. Because obviously last year there's levels to development of a program. We didn't finish in the bowl game last year. That really stung and hurt for a long time. We used that to motivate this team in the offseason about getting to this point where we can make these game-changing, game-finishing plays, against the best, and so to be able to do it against Penn State, to be able to play the way we did against Michigan, to be able to do what we did in the comeback even though we fell short at Ohio State, the grit and the toughness and the fight that this team showed on the road, down 35-7, and ended up losing by a touchdown in that game, I think was another growth opportunity and another growth step in this program. It wasn't, I'm not into those, those types of just because we're close, but I understood what that showed about this team. That's why I said what I said when the game was over. Moral victories are not here. I get all that. That's not what that was, but it was a growth time for our football team. And that's why I emphasize that. And it showed up today, to be able to go on the road again against the top program that's perennially been the best in the West, for a long time. And that to me is what this is about. So just really proud of the growth that you're seeing, proud of this football team. And we just got to just keep working hard, just keep getting better because this season's got a lot left.
All
All right,
Matt.
Jeff, if I could just clarify one thing real fast. You said you got the win probability on a note card in your office for the Penn State game. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. It was 99.9% chance of Penn State winning the game with a minute 47 to go when we turned the ball over on downs. That's what it was. So I'll show it to you if you see it.
All right, go ahead, Matt, and then Kevin.
Hey, Coach. When you look at the rush stats, I mean, around 90 yards on around 30 carries, but it felt like in the middle of the game, you guys were running, especially on early downs, to kind of stay ahead of the chains and not put Jack in the passing game in a situation where they had to, 2nd and 9, 3rd and 8 kind of thing. Did you feel like, you feel pretty good about how the offensive line and the run game kind of came through today and balanced it out enough so that they couldn't just key on the pass game?
Absolutely. I didn't look at the stats yet. The only stat I looked at was the scoreboard. And we won 14-8. So, or 6, by 8 points. So, this is one of those games where, I didn't even know what we rushed for, didn't rush for, but I knew by watching the game that we rushed effectively and ran the ball effectively. And it allowed us to be able to make the plays we needed to make. So, that to me is, tributary. This team is tough to move the ball on. And they're one of the best defenses in the country. And they're really, really good on third downs. We did a really good job in that area too, even when we needed it. Obviously there's things to work on, and this is Jack's first start in college, and he's going to just keep getting better and better. And I think you just try to build and grow with all that. So, but no, we ran the ball effectively. To answer your question, yes.
All right, Kevin and Rick Bozich.
Hey, Coach, what's it like on the sideline on that final defensive stand? Are you in Kane's ear at all, or what was it like, and what were your thoughts about some of the plays that were made, in that final stand?
Oh man, constant communication, but I trust him. I will say I did tell him what I wanted him to call in the last one from a coverage perspective, and so I don't usually do that, but in that situation I did. But he did a phenomenal job, man. All the credits to Kane and our staff, and I'm in every single meeting, but I don't tell him what to call during the game. I don't like messing with his flow and his mindset. I don't think that's very good. I don't think it's very effective. I never liked it when I was in that position. So, but we're in constant communication. And if he asks me, I'll say, hey, yes or that. But the bottom line is that he got our guys in position. And I know they got some yards, but as Ken said, they got to score a touchdown. They got to go for 2. That's the only way they're going to extend this game. So we were just calling it to that end, and to be able to obviously we're trying to get a takeaway. I knew one more takeaway would hit the game, but still just keeping things in front of us. If they called it, tackle them. That one we had we let the quarterback run that long one on the 3rd down long. That one stunk. But other than that, did some really good things on that drive. And at the end of the day, a lot of big plays, guys stepping up, knocking balls away, tipping balls, playing combination of different coverages and just mixing it up. So I thought Kane did a great job calling the entire night.
All right, Rick Bozich and Jeff Ravjohns.
Yeah, Tom, in 3 of the last 4 games, you guys have given up only 1 touchdown total, and that was that desperation one against Maryland. What's enabled your defense to make this step forward? That's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, it is. I just think it's a collective effort. The players have bought in. They practice so hard. These things to detail. One thing I really think we've elevated the way that we practice. That was my goals for this year, the way that we, the intensity and just the way we finished everything. And our coaches bought into that. And it's on both sides of the football. And I think that's a big part of it. I think our scout teams are way better this year because we have more depth than we've ever had since I've been here on this team. We have more good players on this team. And that allows us to get a much better look during the week. It's been times in the past where we just had struggled to get a good look to simulate our opponent. So I think that helps us. And I think we got a mature defense. There's a lot of these guys, it's a third year playing in this system. And we got a lot of good players. And it's not just one or two guys, it's a whole bunch of guys. And the coaching staff's done a phenomenal job, so it's a team effort. It's a lot of little things adds up into that, and I just think that, you still have to play great defense if you want to win in this league. I'm not of the opinion of anything other than that. But if you recall, I felt like we could be a top 10 defense. I said that at the beginning of the year, and it's proven to be true.
All right, Jeff, and then Jim Coyle, last one.
Hey, Coach, last 10 meetings, you obviously know the stats. Wisconsin was averaging right at 51 points per game. You guys hold them to no touchdowns, only 6 points. What do you feel your guys proved and showed everybody in this particular game, this particular matchup?
Well, prove was our one word, and that kind of can go a lot of different directions. And when we talk about having an edge as a program, when I say that to our team, because there's three things: we want to have an edge, we want to be hungry, we want to be focused. That's kind of that's the mindset of our whole program. And within that edge, you got to have a chip on your shoulder, something to prove. And that's just what I bring every day when I show up, and that's how I want our team to be. So that was our one word for this week. We had 8 players that picked that one word. And the one words that I picked for the weekly themes, I don't just pull those out of thin air. Those were taken from our one words from our players. And I have a whole list of them. We have my one word wall outside of our locker room where everybody sees those one words. They walk past them every single day. And so our one word for the program is relentless. But every week I take a word from that list, and that becomes our focus for the week. And then I have those guys talk about why they picked that one word in a given week. And so just having that mindset to want to prove that we're an elite football program, that we can build something special at Indiana, we can compete to win the Big Ten. And that's what I said from the beginning. And people, have their opinions about that. And most people didn't agree with me that we could compete and win the Big Ten championship at Indiana. But I believe we could. And so to me, I've never stopped talking about how you create a program, how you build a program to do that very thing. I mean, you can talk about it all you want, but it's what you do on a daily basis that makes a difference. And that's what these guys have bought into. And it's happening on offense, it's happening on defense, and on special teams. And this defense has a lot of players that have played a lot of snaps, and we got a lot of good ones. And when you got that combination and with a good scheme and great coaches and all the things that added together, you get the result of what you've had these last few weeks. And so just proud of these guys. Once again, can't say enough about the effort, the toughness, the grit, the fight, everything that makes this program special.
All right, Jim, last one for Tom.
I'm going to ask a little long one so you can get a breath, Coach. Kind of following up with that, Jack coming in today, the backup quarterback, his toughness, when he went out, it looked like he wasn't coming back. But coming back, what does that message send to the other team? But what does it also say to the guys he's playing with on his sideline? Well,
there's nothing like having a tough guy leading your team, at that position. He took some shots. That one that was right on our sideline. I thought it was a blow to the head. I know it wasn't with his helmet, it was with the shoulder, but whatever, they decided to rule it the way they ruled it. But he comes running back out of the locker room because they took him off. They took him in the locker room. So I'm actually thinking, okay. I said, okay, Dex, this is why you came here, buddy. So it's your time. But and then all of a sudden, Jack comes running out of the locker room. So I was like, yeah, he's back. But that just gives you a boost, man. I mean, he's just tough, and he really is tough. And but he had a chance to prove it. He proved he's tough. He took some hits, and he just kept popping back up, So, but and nothing against Dex. Dex is awesome. Dex is going to be a great player, but he's not quite ready. So, but the bottom line is that if he was called upon, he would have done what we needed to do to finish out the game. But I just think when you have a quarterback that shows that kind of toughness, just like Michael Penix showed, throughout the season in the first 6 games, and that just gives you so much confidence as an offense and as a football team when man, that guy that plays that position is tough as nails, because it don't matter what you throw at him mentally, what you throw at him physically, he ain't gonna blink. He's gonna find a way. And that's what this team's about, and that's what that quarterback's about. And Jack Tuttle's, he's really good. I really believe that, and I think he's just gonna keep getting better.
All right, thank you, Tom.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Elio.